Today I am so excited to bring you along with me as I get everything ready and prepared for our upcoming homeschooling year. So make sure to stick around and watch. So this week is VBS week for my kiddos. That usually lands either on the 2nd or 3rd week of July. And they're typically there from like 9 to noon. It really gives me a nice chunk of time to get everything prepared for the upcoming school year. So I am capitalizing on this, guys. So as you come along with me in this video, I am going to be showing you all how I get everything prepared for the upcoming school year. So with this, I'm going to be looking at the video manual. I'm going to be preparing our homeschooling space, our materials. I am going to go shopping and gather all the supplies that we need and really just get the space situated for our 3rd year of homeschooling. I just can't believe it, how quickly it goes. And you know, honestly, I remember in the past, after the 4th of July, like I would see back to school stuff and I would like dread it so much because it usually would mean that my time with my kiddos was up and I was going to be going back to work. And that's still the case, okay? I still go back to work at the end of August, but now I don't feel like so, you know, I don't feel that dread. I actually get really excited because setting up the school year for my family here at home is truly something that I enjoy doing. And knowing that my husband and I are really going to be the ones educating our children just brings so much pride to me. And so I really do enjoy just taking on this task and the process, and just putting everything together is one of those things that I really look forward to. And typically, the past 2 years, July is the time when I get this ready because, as I mentioned, I go back to work on the 3rd week of August typically. So I want to make sure everything is ready to go, everything is ironed out. So if I feel in August I want to try something out with my kids, I have that liberty to give things trial runs, give everything a test run with ample time in case I do need to change something. The very first thing I'm going to be doing here is I am going to be taking a look at our video manuals to get a general idea of what the structure for these grades is going to be. I'm going to see if there's any spiritual supplies that I need to go get. I'm going to look to see how is it really that I want to structure their binders this year, because it is a little bit different from the older grades and the younger grades on how the binders are structured. So I'm going to share with you guys so far what I have figured out for our parent binder. I am going to be using a flex binder. In this case, I'm using a 1-inch flex binder because I don't need a super big one, and I am going to be updating it quarterly as well whenever I do my kiddos binders. In here, there are 5 dividers. And based on what I've been looking here, I am going to be dividing our binder into 5 sections. So far, excuse my really messy handwriting, but I was writing really fast. I'm going to be dividing the section for 1st grade and for 6th grade. I am going to be including the quarterly daily guides in there. For my daughter's section, I am going to be putting the daily guide and the seat work plans, but for our 6th grade, I'm going to be adding the daily guides and the subject and description that is at the beginning, just so my husband and I are in the same page and all have something right there that we can reference to as our son is working on his projects and things like those. And then we are going to be putting a Bible section in there as well to include the memory verses as well as the test that he's going to be taking that particular quarter. And then on the side here, I made some notes just to jot down like things that start at special times, like creative writing for first grade will start in lesson 81, spelling in lesson 19. And then over here, like any particular special projects that he's going to have coming up that I took a special note of so that I can go ahead and annotate that here in our video guide. Now that is what I'm going to be doing right now. Before I start ripping stuff out, I'm going to go through the daily guides and I'm going to highlight anything that during that time we are going to have to pay special attention to. I'm doing this all now so that as the year progresses, that's not something that I have to worry about doing again. So here we go. I also have my sticky notes, so I can put sticky notes where we are beginning and when we are ending as well. And ripped out the research report assignment to add in the part with the subject information for my husband and I to have in our binder. But I'm also ripping out the 6th grade short form book report. And I'm making a couple of copies of these because he is going to be doing a couple of the short forms. Short forms are not that big of a problem for him, so we do still continue to do the short form book report. Now, when it comes to the long form book report, we're doing a couple of project-based things for this upcoming year that I have planned. So if you look here, it says it may be produced. That means that you can make copies of this. So I'm going to make about 3 or 4 copies of this and then put the main one in there and keep the other copies in here for me to refill every quarter. Now the beautiful thing about these is that they already come pre-hole punch, so I don't have to worry about hole punching anything. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here, go ahead and get my stuff here all set up. I'm also going to be laminating these charts over here. I'm going to be ripping out the charts that they have here for reference. I'm going to add a little bit of color here to the color words. And then I'm going to laminate it, cut them up, and I'm going to be placing it here, okay? Wherever it fits, either here or here, for whenever we need to take those out for our daughter to reference. So let me get these guys all set up here first. The paper in the back, I'm gonna remove some of it off because my husband and I aren't going to be needing all that loose leaf paper, but you know, we might need it for something to take notes or whatnot. So I'm gonna leave a little bit in there and save the rest for my son. I'm going to place in the Bible stuff first. Put that in there. And then I'm going to go for the subject descriptions for 6th grade. My husband was saying that, you know, he really wanted to have something to just make a quick glance at the beginning of the day in the morning before the kiddos wake up, just so he can wrap his head around what is coming up and what was going on for that day. He really wants to work on maybe planning a little bit ahead, field trips and stuff like that. So that's why I really wanted to make this binder for us to have everything there readily available for both of us, the essential things that we need to reference on a daily basis. So our parent binder looks like this. Has the 1st grade video manual cover, daily guides for 1st grade, all for the first 2 grading periods because that's how I divided mine. It has the Appendix C, which is the seat work for the manuscript for us. So it can be a quick reference guide. We have the 6th grade video manual. And for that one, it's just the first grading period for 6th grade. The daily guides. And then we have the subject description and grading so that, you know, we could just make quick references. And to these, I did highlight. I highlighted things that we need to pay close attention to. I added the book report in here. And I also added the research report thing here for us to reference. And then in the back, I have the Bible for 6th grade, the memory passages, as well as the test and answer sheet for this particular quarter. One thing that I did forget to mention is that in the daily guides, I did go through and highlighted anything that we needed to pay close attention to. Like for science, he's going to be doing his Adopt a Tree project is going to start on lesson 12. So we know that that's a project that is beginning. So I went through and I did that for 6th grade and for 1st grade as well. I went through and just made special note whenever something new was going to be starting. I highlighted it in pink. These spelling and poetry get introduced here, so we know that that's a new change, just to help us make sure to be aware of that. There we have it, my friends. Our parent binder is all set to go for the first quarter of the year. I just love just keeping the same system for us as for the kids. It just keeps everything streamlined. This is something that you can do as well if you have multiple children. Instead of having to reference all the video manuals independently, just consolidate what you need for that first grading section here. And then at the end of every grading period, when it's time to update the kids' binder, you just take out these guys and update your teacher parent binder as well. It's just, you know, something new that I'm doing this year. So in our to-do list, I can go ahead and cross off my parent binder. Check. So far, I've looked over the manuals, the supplies have been already bought, and I shared a video with you guys for the supply hauls, so you can go check that out if you haven't seen that yet. We got our 1st grade binder done and 6th grade binder done, and those videos I am going to be sharing with you guys this upcoming week and the week after that. So if you are setting up your kids' binders for Abeka and is those particular grade levels, go ahead and check those out. I am also sharing with you a free printable that I created just so that we can plan out the way our binder is going to look like. I will be sharing that with you guys in the other videos as well. So really do keep an eye out for those because I just have found it very, very helpful for me. Now, the next thing that we have to do is organize our curriculum. And for that, I'm going to be using the book bins that I already have. And after that is going to be organizing really our entire homeschool space because it's kind of in summer mode right now. so next on the list for tomorrow, I am going to organize the homeschool curriculum in our bins and really prepare our space over here for our homeschooling year. Right now is summer, so it looks very summery. There's not a whole lot going on here. So we're gonna do that, and then the last thing I'm probably going to do is going to be laminating those charts because I wanna make sure that in my mind there is nothing else that I wanna add in there. Honestly, for me, I feel like the most time-consuming thing is setting up our binders and preparing them for the entirety of the year, and even then that's not that bad. How about you guys? What is the one thing that you feel is the most important for you to have your homeschool year really set up, or what is the thing that you feel like is the most time consuming? Go ahead and let me know in the comments because I would like to hear from you. All right, my friends, so today we are going to be working on organizing our homeschooling space right here, which is a bit of a mess right now. So it's in summer mode, you know, so we're gonna just prep it up. There are certain things up here that I'm planning on just leaving for the next couple of weeks because we are still in summer. And then I'm gonna go at the bottom where the cubbies are at, and I'm going to be putting in our new curriculum for the upcoming year. So that's the game plan for today. Let's get started. My daughter's first grade curriculum, half of it is already over here from when I organized her binder. So we have her consumables here as well. And then I have the parent binder, which that I'm going to put in a different spot. I'm going to remove these guys from here too. All right, so consumables, this is going to be going up top pretty soon. So I'm just gonna remove this over here. On this side, I am going to be putting like the reading key. Eventually, this is going to be going up here where I currently have the reading stuff that I do with her, because I will be working on this on a daily basis after work with her. But in the meantime, I'm going to be putting it here. The reading handbook, I'll put in here too. All of her readers, I'm going to be placing a sticky note as to what lesson is it that they show up in. These books are typically books that I leave up in his cubby on the top, in his book bin on the top. I'm just gonna put those on the side right now. And then all of the teacher keys are going to go in here. And just like my daughter, this particular one over here, I like to store up top so I have easy access to it daily. But in the meantime, I'm just going to stick this in here like this. And then I had already put in here all the consumables for him and his readers that I take out based on whenever it is that we're going to be using them. And then the health one, I'm just gonna stick it here because that's not gonna be until the last quarter. The quiz bowl, we just need to become a little bit familiarized with this particular stuff. I'm just going to put it in here for it to be stored there and stick this back in here. I had that Spanish songbook curriculum that I got last year. We never really did anything with it. My kids didn't really like it. So I'm just going to be donating this and I'm going to be storing my kids' binders here and our teacher binder here so that we have access to it quickly when the beginning of the year comes. These binders typically go with our kids in their backpacks, or we put it up here on the top. So we are going to just be storing them here for now. So the stuff that I used here to put these things on the wall were these little gorilla tack, I think is what they call it. And we use this at school a lot, like teachers do, to just prevent things from falling off the wall, because it's like the only thing that will glue on there. So I used this here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and rip them all up, and they're reusable. You just, you know, handle them a little bit and then they get all sticky again. So it's not like a one-time use thing. Now, this is what I'm planning on putting on here. So when my husband gets home, I'm gonna ask him to move our Erie picture a little bit to the side just to line it up with the desk. And then I'm going to be placing this here. Well, I'm gonna have him hang it up for me because he's so much better at it. So we're gonna be placing it here, and this is just gonna take the place of, like, you know, me putting reminders or putting whatever letter is it that we're working on, or whatever vowel blends we're working on, and just keeping it up here so we can review it consistently every single day. So I'll wait till Sean comes home to do this part. So on this little cart thing, I kept it very similar because we're still in summertime and we use this cart a lot in the summertime. I have here our construction paper and our coloring books that we use during the summertime. We typically listen to an audiobook and color. So I have that here along with the crayon box that stores all sorts of random crayons that we use for our coloring sessions. And then here we have our writing utensils, so some pencils and pens, permanent markers, and random things. So expo marker, and then I have this chalkboard writer. I use this to write things on these and also in the kitchen, so that's why that random thing is there. And then on the second tier here, I have my 3-hole puncher, and then the art stuff that we are going to be using in the upcoming year. It's all set here and ready to go. And then on the third tier, I kept it the same as is just some puzzles in bags for, ooh, let me put this up here, for us to continue using in the summer. My daughter really just sometimes loves taking out a puzzle and working on it just for fun. So up here, we kept it very similar to what it was earlier. We're still in summer, so I'm keeping these things as is. We have, you know, just little journal, random books and reading stuff that my son has been working on. With my daughter, I still do phonics with her during the summertime, and we do some reading, so we use our old readers for that, so that is still there. In my section over here, this one is my personal cubby. I have my Bible, my devotional journal, and then just something that I have here to take notes in. I just randomly sometimes take it out to take notes and things that I don't want to forget, I guess. And then my pencil pouches right here. This is my husband's bin, and this is my tech bin. This is where I keep all my little knickknacks for when I do any of my videos. I have my GoPro in here and stuff like that. And then down here is our curriculum stuff. So these two pretty much stay like this the entire year. My daughter's curriculum is up here, her DVDs, the consumables, and the answer keys, as well as her textbooks and readers for first grade. And then for our son, we have his DVDs, all the consumables, as well as the teacher keys, and then his social studies and textbooks over here that eventually these will go up here for him. And the same thing for my daughter. Eventually, whatever reader she's working on and whatever textbook she's working on will go up here in her actual bin. And then over here, I just am storing the kids' binders for now, and then when the year actually begins, I will put these up there in their bin, and they just grab it whenever it's time for them to put them in their backpacks and go to their grandparents' house. And then down here, I have our art bin, so I added a tempera paints in there. We have glitter glue, we have our acrylics that we use, and our paintbrushes, and then our art notebook thing right there that has our drawing paper. And then over here, I also have their art curriculum that I'm planning on possibly setting up weekly for them to have. So I'm still debating if I want to do that or not, or if I just want to address that as it comes. We will see. Haven't decided yet. Let me know, what is it that you do with your art curriculum? Like, how do you organize it? Is there a special system that you have on how you guys store things, or just prepare things ahead of time? Or do you just complete them as they come and just gather the materials then? Go ahead and let me know. Sean went ahead and put up the whiteboard for us, and I'm really happy how it turned out. On our first day back to school video, I'll be sharing with you all how everything finally turned out. Are you all set up already to get started with this homeschooling year? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I always love hearing from you. I will see you next time. Bye.